and it's why, I always like to talk about it. Last year I did the 30-day listing challenge where I set 30 listing appointments in 30 days. I did it personally. I recorded all the calls. I put them all on my social media. I did live calls in front of my team. If you don't have that skill set, if you're not comfortable going in front of your team and making live phone calls and talking to sellers, right? And these aren't warm leads. These are people in your database that maybe are opening emails, but like these are not people that are raising their hands saying, I want to sell my house. If you're not comfortable doing that, your number one priority right now needs to be focusing on your skill set and focusing on the confidence of being able to call homeowners and set those appointments and get in front of them and show and articulate the value of what you bring to the table. And I think that you need to take ownership as a leader within this industry of, taking extreme ownership and saying that needs to be one of my biggest priorities.
Well, you were talking about the whole building and nurturing this database and how, again, sometimes some will close now, sometimes some will close a year, 2, 3, 5 years from now. To your point, you get better at this the more you do it, right?
All day.
Not only do you get better, but and by the way, your conversion rates will improve, right? And I'm talking about conversion on cold appointments. If you're not converting 85% of your sphere of influence, you really suck at this, right? I mean, let's be real about this. But we're talking about cold appointments, FSBOs, expireds, cold call, whatever, cold lead sources. You should be, you should be able to get to a point where you can close 85% of those. If they list it with somebody, they should list it with you, right?
Yeah.
That being said, to your point, if your conversion ratio is 85%, now you're probably not going on enough appointments. But watch this. Let's look at some real numbers. You were talking about Austin earlier. His numbers in 3 years ago, back in 2022, when he was brand new in the business, he did 97 listings year one, right? He did the exact same activities the following year. And I'm talking 4 hours a day of prospecting, exact same activities the following years, didn't change, listed just over 120 listings. Did the exact same activities year 3, over 150 listings. And this is not
And this was what was year 3, 2022?
Year 3 was this last year, 2024. So year 1 was 2022, 23 was year 2, 24 was year 3.
Wasn't home sales down about 20%?
26
so it's like
38% depending on the market.
Yeah. So it's like, so not only was he becoming more efficient, but he had more headwinds of, what he was going against. And that's that much more impressive when so many people are going backwards. He's accelerating, right?
But why? That's what I want to highlight with this is what you were talking about is there's 2 reasons why. Number 1 is because his database is continually getting bigger and they're touching their database. They use Fello, for example, right? So they're using Fello, they're using technology in every way they can, and they're making the calls. And this is just him. I'm not even giving you his team's numbers, but he's making those calls 4 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week. And so these people are getting to know him. Right? He's building a relationship with these people. And whether they buy today or they buy 3 years from now, that relationship is going to cause them to very likely at least give him the at bat. Then, because he's going on so many listing appointments on a regular basis, 2 things are happening. Because he's making all these calls, guess what? His skill set on the phone is getting better and better and better every day. Now, because he's going on the appointments, his skill set on the appointment is getting better and better and better every day. Really where I'm going with this is there's no shortcut. Now, Fello can really help, right? And by the way, this call isn't a big pitch for Fello, but I'll tell you guys, like if you're using Fello, and it just happens to be Ryan's product, but if you're using Fello, it can help you at the back end to stay engaged with people and to identify people that are ready now and that are raising their hands. You getting voice to voice and getting comfortable with those conversations to the point that you could sit in front of your team like Ryan was talking about, or get on a webinar with me or with Ryan and just literally be willing to do phone calls live on Facebook in front of a bunch of people. You get to that point, game over. You're going to get so good. Your efficiency and your conversion rates are going to go through the roof.
Here's the best part about it with what he's doing and what we all should be, emulating basically what he's demonstrating is when I talk to you, if you're doing this consistently for 4 hours a day, let's just do it 1 hour a day, right? Then build your muscle to get to 2 hours a day, and then we'll get to 3 hours a day. Then it'll become addicting from the success that you're having. But so I'm talking to you and as a seller, and I call you back up and I say, Michael, hey, it's Ryan with the Young team. Hey, I know you said that you wanted to move to the mountains, and that's incredible. And I know you said you wanted to do so by the end of the year, but I was talking to a seller, a homeowner, who actually lives in that ideal location. I was just on the phone with them, and I know this is a little bit unconventional, but if I could find you an amazing opportunity that wasn't on market, so it wasn't visible to any other buyers, is that something that you'd want me to send over to you, right? And what you end up, what ends up happening is the more homeowners that you start talking to, and when you get into discovery and ask them, where are you going after you sell? We're not just a robot and saying, do you want to sell your home? Yes or no? Yes, great. I'll be over for an appointment. No. Okay. I'll never call you again. When you go deeper into discovery, all of a sudden, when you start talking to other homeowners, there's this network effect and it compounds, right? And so all of a sudden I can provide value to other sellers that I was talking to when I'm asking, where are you planning on going? When I start talking to other sellers on where they want to go. And then, I'm asking the seller in the mountains, I'm curious, where are you planning on going when you sell your home? Oh, you want to go to the city? Great. When you start lead generating consistently and you start thinking through this mindset of like, every person that I know that needs to sell a home that also wants to buy within my market, how can I connect the dots for them? When you want to talk about differentiating yourself in a highly competitive market, find them something that no one else found them. Right? They will be indebted to you where that listing is a shoo-in, right? You find them an opportunity that no one else brought to them. And I can promise you have an amazing shot at getting their listing as well. And then ultimately helping another, whoever's on the back end.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.